Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday, the 11th day of January. It's National Arkansas Day. It's also National Milk Day, National National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. That's not very easy for me to say for some reason, and I think it's sad that we even have to have that. It's also National Step in the Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day. Well, that's just weird.
That's not very nice.
No, don't do that. Also, we've got a guest coming up. For those of you who watch the Discovery Channel, I'm sure you've seen the commercials for Discovery Channel's Gold Rush Whitewater. They just returned for their second season last Friday, so coming up tonight at 10, they'll be back on. I've got Dakota Fred Hurt joining me from Discovery's Gold Rush Whitewater. It's coming up later in the program. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Want a good laugh to start every day? We do, and you can too. Be sure to follow WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com on Facebook. Every morning we send out our Weird Gift of the Day. You don't even have to buy anything. You can just follow our page and laugh at the bizarre real gift items we find and share every morning. And maybe you can share them with your friends who have a good sense of humor too. We have a link to make it easy to find us at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for surveys, studies, and such. A study today by Northwestern University found that half of the adults who think they have a food allergy don't really have one. So some of this is misdiagnosis.
I could see that. There are so many people that think that they
have a gluten intolerance
to be gluten-free.
They say half of these people are being misdiagnosed.
Yeah.
So, like, they actually go in, and it could be a plethora of things, and they say, you know what, I think you're allergic to soy, or, something. And as it turns out, they're not. It's something different, completely different. So a study by Northwestern University found that half of adults who think they have a food allergy don't really have a food allergy. That is crazy. So if you happen to have a food allergy, maybe you don't.
That's actually a useful study.
That is. I've got a link to that in the show notes. You're welcome. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Cable and dish companies keep jacking up their rates. Join the cable cutting revolution with ChannelSurferTV.com. Watch TV with no monthly fee. Our DVR lets you record shows and pause live TV with no monthly fee. Want to stream movies? We have a device for that too. It works with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and many other streaming platforms, so you can cut the cable and save a ton of money every month. Learn more at ChannelSurferTV.com. That's ChannelSurferTV.com.
And this is your brain on drugs. Deputies in Louisiana found a gun concealed in the buttocks of a man after they... What? Didn't we just have one where it was syringes?
Needles. It was syringes, yeah.
What in the world are people doing? They found a zip gun and a homemade silencer. They spotted suspicious activity. They approached to investigate. He gave a false name, then fled the scene. They then questioned somebody else, Justin Savoy, who was also at the home. During the pat-down, Savoy, they discovered concealed handgun, marijuana, and a pipe used for smoking the marijuana. They also spotted a homemade zip gun on the floorboard of the truck and several firearms and homemade suppressors inside the truck. While they were undergoing a strip search and processing him, that's when they found a small gun concealed.
Oh, my goodness.
Somewhere else. He was charged with the first offense, possession of marijuana, felony charge of taking contraband to a penal institution, and a felony charge of improper registration of a firearm. So all of that going on. What is happening in this world?
Right?
I just can't even imagine. I don't want to store anything there. It's a bad idea. But that is definitely, though, what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Colton Underwood's virginity has become a hot topic after the season premiere of The Bachelor.
Who cares?
I think that's cool. I think that's awesome, Colton, but I don't know why it's such a big deal. Thousands of fans confused a picture of Kris Jenner for her daughter, Kim Kardashian. She posted a selfie back on Tuesday. How would you feel if people thought that you were your mother, or if your mother was you? Because it was the mother that was confused for the daughter. Would that make you feel good as the mother? Yes. The daughter? Probably not so much. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has not responded to Christian Bale's comments about him at the Golden Globes last weekend. I wonder, what would he say? Because he was referring to him as Satan or something like that. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. We didn't watch it.
No,
But
I know what he said. I guess I'm not going to go into
Moving
it.
on to the thing I wanted to talk about for the Golden Globes, Melissa McCarthy revealed that she snuck 30 ham sandwiches
I read that.
into the Golden Globes.
So
what?
Because they have to go so long between eating, and she didn't want anybody
30?
there to get
Oh, she gives
lightheaded.
other people too?
Yeah, she was handing them out to everyone,
That
like
makes more
walking
sense.
around to
Need a ham
actresses that
sandwich?
look like they're going to pass out.
Need a ham sandwich?
Yeah, and she said that people were very grateful for the food. So
Melissa McCarthy, sponsored by Arby's. No, that is so crazy. What are you wearing tonight? Oh, this is my meat dress, in case I get hungry. Getting a little peckish.
this is Oscar Mayer.
That is so crazy. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Sears. It's a name that we've known for a long, long time. Well, they've remained open. They arranged to remain open after receiving a last-minute revised bid from Chairman Eddie Lampert's hedge fund. So hopefully they're going to be able to keep the stores open for a while here. ESL Investments is the company. It says the agreement came after a twice-delayed hearing in bankruptcy court. $4.4 billion bid. It's going to keep 425 jobs open and 68,000 people nationwide employed. So what? I think they mean stores,
Probably
but it
means
says
stores.
jobs.
Yeah.
But 68,000 people nationwide will be employed, at least for now.
I was thinking all of the stores were closed. Apparently
there were
not.
some. No, not. There were a bunch of them closed, but not all of them. So there we go. A really sad story here. 114-year-old Cleveland Heights, Ohio woman, believed to be the oldest person in the U.S., passed away this week. Family members attribute her longevity to her diet heavy on sweet potatoes. Hey, take a little listen to that, Heidi. She was just telling me sweet potatoes.
I cannot stand sweet
and she was
potatoes.
telling me that they're on the cannot eat list, according to, we're going through.
No, sweet potato fries were
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. I just remember he said, oh, hey, look, sweet potatoes. Brown became the country's oldest person back in May of last year, May of 2018, with the death of the 114-year-old Delphine Gibson of Pennsylvania. So this young lady, 114 years young, passed away earlier this week. And again, I think that's really sad. I wonder who the oldest person is now. Do they call you when they find that out? They, hey, just want to let you know, you are now the oldest person.
Who wants that phone call? I'll continue to eat bacon and I'll die early. I don't want to get that phone call.
I wouldn't mind getting that call. I'd be kind of cool. I am?
No.
Well, good for me.
What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with that?
I'm going to go for a jog now.
Guess I'll gum another sweet potato.
Would you just a new refrigerator. This is something that Heidi would want, by the way. It's called the Drink Shift. Yeah, the Drink Shift. It'll keep track of how many beers you've had, and it will order new beer for you when you run low.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's a better idea to maybe when the milk is getting low. That's a good idea. When the eggs are getting low, sure. When your beer is getting low, it doesn't really.
I think if you're to the point where you can no longer count how many beers you have left, you maybe have had enough.
Who are you? I'm the beer delivery service. What? Your refrigerator called me. It did? I didn't even know I had one of those. The Drink Shift. Who in the world?
Yeah, I don't know why that's a necessity.
Who was sitting around thinking up the idea for this one?
My dad.
Probably staring. Where's it? We're all out of beer. You know what we need. If only somebody would invent a refrigerator that would never let this happen again. That's what we need. And one last story here. This could have actually been part of our big screen, little screen, but I am using it here. I don't know why. Chris Rock is in the news. He told a New York crowd that he would never host the Oscars because it has become too politically correct. Everything has.
I agree.
And
I don't
the
even
sad
watch
thing
that
is,
garbage.
well, we haven't watched any of those shows. But the sad thing is, it used to be a huge honor when somebody would say, "Hey,
Yeah.
would you be the host of something?" Well,
now
nowadays
it's a cancer.
there's like they're
I mean,
gonna
they'll
scroll
go
back
back 30 years
Yeah.
into your comments and things that you said and did, and then they'll drag you through
in
the mud. Who
third
wants
grade,
that?
You told Sally in third grade
So ridiculous.
you pulled her pigtails. I don't know. It's I understand where some of the things that have come out are not good, but so maybe we're making a little light of that. But Oscars, if you call me, yes, I will host.
You would not.
I got nothing to hide. My life is an open book. I actually had somebody that was like, "Ooh, there's some dirt. We got some dirt on you." I'm like, "You can say anything you want to say. I really don't care." I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but I've learned from them, and I've not tried to sweep them under the rug. So It's a good way to live. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
At FunkyMonkeyShirts.com, we want to remind you it's never too early to start thinking about Valentine's Day. And what says "I love you" better than awesome, matching fun t-shirts? Get something for your sweetie and for you. We have several his and hers t-shirt designs to choose from at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Let the world know how much you love one another. And wear your heart on your sleeve. Well, at least on your shirt. With a little help from FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We have Dakota Fred Hurt from Discovery Gold Rush Whitewater joining us, and they've got their new season kicking off, and we've got him on the line right now. Fred, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, we're doing just great. We're looking forward to our show on Discovery Channel. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
And this is season 2, and this is Discovery Channel's #1 show, Gold Rush. This is the spinoff, and it's in its second season. What is that like to be a part of the #1 show on Discovery Channel? That's got to be pretty darn cool, doesn't it?
Hey, I'm going to tell you what, it kind of makes you feel proud, and we know that this is going to be a prospecting and treasure hunt show. It's going to do very well this year. I think people are going to be very well entertained. It'll have its ups and downs, but everything from gold to personalities to equipment. It's going to be fun.
And for folks that haven't had a chance to see the first season, you can actually watch that. They've got all of the episodes through the Discovery Go app, and we'll talk more about that, how you can catch up on last season. But the second season is starting right now, and you'll be able to follow along. At the end of last season, there was a landslide and a flash flood caused a little bit of problem to your mine site. So without giving away too much, hopefully you got all of that taken care of, I hope.
Well, what we did, we wondered if we were even going to come back. I mean, that was catastrophic. I was in the water when that happened, and there was a chance. There was problems there, big time. Anyway, we decided we would. After a few months, we said, "Look, let's go back and do this a little different. We'll get more people, more dredges, do a different strategy." And that's what we did. We went back and we were right on top of that hard pack that was right on top of that bedrock. And but we didn't have the right tools at the time. So we devised a plan on how to get down to that very down on the bedrock down in there to get after that gold. And that's what we did this year.
Now, you mentioned tools. A lot of people, when they think about somebody mining for gold, they think about like a prospector, maybe a pickaxe over his shoulder and a big build hat flipped up in the front. That's not at all what you guys do nowadays up in Alaska. Let's talk about the tools that you use to prospect for gold in 2019.
Well, in this situation, we're underwater. That's where the gold is under a stream, and you can't get equipment into the job site. It's just impossible to walk a excavator or anything like that into the job site. We're down in a very steep canyon. And we're using wedges, little floating wedges, 6 inches, and it sucks gold up off the bottom or a little material and goes to a sluice box. That's basically what we're doing. Right at the very end, you do panning and things of that nature, but to get it, you've got to get underwater. A lot of dangers involved in that. I used to be a commercial diver years ago. We have one fella coming back, that's Carlos. He was a commercial diver for years, so he's no stranger to being underwater. Some of these other guys, they're relatively new to this underwater stuff, but they proved to be quite able, and the personalities are going to be part of the show. All I know is it's going to be an exciting show.
Well, we're super excited for you. Season 2 is starting right now, and if you missed Season 1, you can watch Season 1, and you can catch up on Season 2 if you get behind. All of that through the Discover Go app, and that is free with your paid TV subscription. It's called Gold Rush Whitewater, and our guest is the star of Gold Rush Whitewater. It is Fred Hurt, Discovery's Gold Rush Whitewater. It's, again, back on for Season 2. Fred, thank you again. Dakota Fred, we appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And you'll have a good day, and I'll see you guys in your living room tonight.
Again, our guest today has been Dakota Fred. That's Fred Hurt. He's the star of Discovery's Gold Rush Whitewater. It's back for Season 2 on Discovery Channel, Friday nights at 10. I'll throw a link in the show notes with all of the details at johnandheidishow.com.
Cable and dish companies keep jacking up their rates. Join the cable cutting revolution with ChannelSurferTV.com. Watch TV with no monthly fee. Our DVR lets you record shows and pause live TV with no monthly fee. Want to stream movies? We have a device for that too. It works with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and many other streaming platforms, so you can cut the cable and save a ton of money every month. Learn more at ChannelSurferTV.com. That's ChannelSurferTV.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
This might be my favorite fun fact. It certainly is for at least this week and maybe even the last couple of weeks. Benjamin Franklin invented water skiing. How cool is that?
Huh.
I think Ben Franklin was just like the brightest dude ever. He invented a lot of stuff. Bifocals, had the Franklin stove.
Yeah.
He had a pretty gnarly kite that he took out flying once in a while and invented electricity. Okay, he didn't really invent electricity, but you know what I'm saying. He was ahead of his time. Also, volunteer fire department, the public library system, a lot of things. But water skiing? Ben, come on, man. That's awesome.
He was a fun dude,
Apparently, yeah. Benjamin Franklin invented water skiing. That's today's fun fact.
At FunkyMonkeyShirts.com, we want to remind you it's never too early to start thinking about Valentine's Day and what says I love you better than awesome matching fun t-shirts. Get something for your sweetie and for you. We have several his and hers t-shirt designs to choose from at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Let the world know how much you love one another and wear your heart on your sleeve. Well, at least on your shirt. With a little help from FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Time now for Fear This. Fun with phobias. You ready for a phobia, Heidi?
I am ready.
Tell me if you think you know what this. Kenophobia. K-E-N-O phobia. K-E-N-O-P-H-O-B-I-A. Kenophobia. What do you think that is?
The fear of gambling?
No. Why would you think gambling? Like keno.
Keno. Yeah.
Kenophobia. Yeah, I could see that. I wonder if that is the way to say it. Kenophobia. Probably. It's fear of empty spaces.
Well, that's what
Kenophobia.
Keno is, isn't it? Isn't it? Like, don't you have to fill in all the boxes for Keno?
You've clearly never played Keno, nor have I.
I think you have to fill in the boxes on a piece of paper.
I saw it on Vegas Vacation once.
Whatever. You do. You write in there's a big box that's got all these empty spaces. Yeah.
You get them all right?
You have to write numbers in each of them, and then if you get your card filled, then you win money.
Wow. Then we're going to say Heidi was right. Pretty sure she wasn't. Kenophobia, fear of empty spaces.
I think I was pretty close,
okay,
actually.
We'll go with that. Thanks for listening. Wow. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Want a good laugh to start every day? We do, and you can too. Be sure to follow WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com on Facebook. Every morning we send out our Weird Gift of the Day. You don't even have to buy anything. You can just follow our page and laugh at the bizarre real gift items we find and share every morning. And maybe you can share them with your friends who have a good sense of humor too. We have a link to make it easy to find us at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Guess what the gift is today?
What?
I don't know. You need to guess because I have no idea.
I don't know.
I got a page around here somewhere, but I don't know where it is. How about this story? A woman in Palm Beach County was arrested after allegedly assaulting her parents when they refused to take her to the Outback restaurant. She's 28 years old, by the way. Dina Seltzer, charged with domestic battery of a person 65 years of age or older, and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. The victim's mother told that Seltzer wanted to go to Outback. The mother said no. That's when Seltzer became enraged and began punching her chest
What?
and her arms. It gets worse. Then Seltzer's father tried to break up the fight. That's when she began to insult him. Not insult, assault. She began to assault him.
Oh, my God.
He got scratches to his face and his upper body. They said that she then began running around the home, flipped over a large glass table, recliners, and other pieces of furniture.
Oh, my gosh.
It gets worse. Then she ripped a 12-inch decorative knife off the wall and ran toward her father, screaming, "I'm going to expletive kill you."
Oh, my gosh.
Thank goodness he was able to grab this from her. The police had to show up. And they were around the perimeter of the house. They were all over the place. They finally got her into custody. The first thing she said, this again was their 28-year-old daughter. First thing she said when taken into custody, and I quote, "They should have taken me to Outback, and this wouldn't have happened," end quote.
Take yourself to Outback. You're 28
What
years
is wrong
old.
with this young lady? I don't get that. That makes no sense.
I hope
but
they make her move out of their
I
basement.
would hope so. It's not a good day. I doubt that Outback is going to be having her... Our new
She's the new
spokesperson.
spokesperson.
She really likes Outback. But they got to be sitting in the boardroom there going,
How can we use this?
we got to be kind of happy because look at all the exposure we're getting. But then again, she's nuts. I
Oh,
don't know.
my.
This is today's Weird News. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Heather Carpenter, a substitute teacher at a school, was arraigned for allegedly sabotaging the principal's party at a park by dumping human feces on the grills and the tables.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, she's 42, by the way. She was angry over a complaint that she filed at the school wanting revenge on the principal. The substitute teacher allegedly was witnessed in rubber gloves and a face mask at 6:30 a.m. at this park, putting fecal matter all around the pavilion where they were going to be having this birthday party for the principal's 6-year-old daughter.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, not good. Officers spoke to the principal, who explained she had an ongoing dispute with this substitute teacher who taught her daughter's class. The detectives went on to the home of Miss Carpenter, who allegedly confessed to the act of revenge. When she talked to officers, she said she flung the poo around the pavilion because she was upset over how a complaint that she filed at the school was being handled, and she wanted to disrupt this party and the festivities.
Disrupt the party by possibly killing children?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that anybody's going to get killed.
If you get salmonella,
Okay,
if a child does,
if
they cooked on that grill that she put it on,
it was on the tables on the grill. It was smeared all over the place.
all over everything.
Yeah, nobody's going to use that. She just didn't want them to be able to have the party. I think. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what a crazy person would do. It was a bad idea. That's why it's today's moment of duh. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Time now for your dad joke of the day, and I've got a pretty good one here today, Heidi.
Really?
What is, by my standards, it's amazing. What is the least spoken language in the world, Heidi?
I don't know.
Sign language. Huh? Okay, maybe not. I think it's a good, you don't think that's a good one?
Sure. That's amazing.
The least spoken language in the world. Sign language.
Okay.
Could be body language, too, maybe. Because I'm looking at your body language. It's telling me.
It's not so much a joke
Let's
as
move
it is
on.
like a riddle.
It should be in a fortune cookie. Thanks. A really bad one. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think we're going to do that today. Our good news comes your way courtesy of WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, and our good news headline says, Doctors on a plane save woman's life by constructing makeshift ventilator out of nearby parts. What the what? Was this Dr. MacGyver? Remember that when we were kids?
I remember MacGyver.
So this story, this is one of the stories, I think this is the last one now, that were viral stories of 2018. Somehow we missed all of these. I was looking through these. I'm like, this was viral. It never made it to my neighborhood. I never saw this. A normal flight to Jamaica turned into a life-saving endeavor after two anesthesiologists created a makeshift medical ventilator to save an elderly woman who had gone into respiratory arrest. Matthew Stevenson and John Flanagan, heroes on a JetBlue flight back in January of last year. It says a senior started having trouble breathing. A nurse, who also happened to be on board the plane, tried to help the woman recover, but nothing would relieve the breathing distress. They talked to the flight crew, and they asked if they had a hand-operated manual resuscitator on board to pump oxygen into her lungs. They didn't, so these guys said, oh, well, we'll just make our own then.
Wow.
He conducted CPR on the woman, while the other gentleman started cutting tubing off of an airbag and something from the plane's emergency mask.
Wow.
And so basically they said, oh, you don't have one? That's okay. I can
really
whip one up.
Cool.
So they built this makeshift ventilator, and they were able to keep her alive until they got this emergency landing in Fort Lauderdale. 45 minutes later, that's when they took over with real equipment.
That is amazing.
But these two
Good
dudes,
for them. Holy
heroes.
cow.
Yeah, what a crazy story. Can you imagine being on the airplane? People are cutting tubing out of the ceiling.
Yeah, that is insane.
All of the stuff they were doing.
That's fantastic.
It's like,
Good for them.
I'm going to just sit back here and eat my peanuts. Oh, you don't get those anymore. I'm going to sit back here and eat my pretzels. That's probably what it was. All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.